Hello, and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, well, we've had some adventures, apparently. Apparently.
Got my ears on.
Yeah, there you go, your ears. So, you and the matriarch went out of town. I stayed behind to take care of the pests.
That's right. We went to...
which I didn't know about until the night before you left.
Pan for gold and look for Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, I guess you're more Californian than I thought.
I beg your pardon.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to the gold rush...
Yes.
...that everybody attributes to California, this area was the big gold-producing area in the United States.
Indeed.
Here, California, and Alaska.
Well, Alaska is more black gold as of late, or am I mistaken?
No, the Yukon Gold Rush.
Oh yeah, that's right. There we are. But at any rate.
Oh, well, no, we hadn't been clear on the length of time we would be gone.
I didn't know any part of it.
Oh, really?
Nothing.
Wait a minute. No.
I was told nothing. Nothing.
All right. My bad.
Because I would have remembered it. Because I would have gone, I'm buying this. I'm going to do this.
Oh, by the way, we sold the house. Get your shit and get out tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how dare you?
Oh, that's my bad.
Yeah. I
thought we just hadn't told you the length of time we were.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
Oh, well, that's neat. Does that fit down in the...
No.
Oh, that's it.
You brew it inside the... Okay.
That's that new tea set you got.
Yeah. I got a new tea set from a family member for this past month, I guess. Yeah. So... It is a travel gong fu tea set, which, is more, I believe, more southern Chinese. I believe so. Now, look. I am not gonna lie.
Y'all.
Hey, easy.
Qingdao is a beer.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's fucking tea, man. Win, lose, or draw. I still like my damn tea. All right. So, it's basically just a different style of brewing.
Huh. Cool.
And I like it a lot. But anyway, so what hell did you and her do this past weekend?
A lot of people go and go do stuff on their quote unquote vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Now I go chill.
Oh yeah.
We've lived a pretty active life.
Oh yeah.
Your childhood. For one thing.
Yeah, you might as well chill.
You might as well chill.
Chill
I
now.
have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we went on a nice long train ride.
Nice.
That was nice through the mountains and the trees and the rivers and the lakes and the waterfalls
Mm-hmm.
and all that. That was cool. That was really cool.
Oh.
But that's about the only thing we did.
Yeah, the only thing you did? Oh, well.
There was a nice babbling brook next to the cabin.
Oh yeah, because you took your chairs and you were gonna go sit in the creek.
Yes. I'll pan for some gold.
Did you find any?
I'm gonna have to smelt it first.
Really?
Yeah, quartz and iron. And
Okay.
Need to melt some of it down.
Fair enough. I'm sure there's a YouTube video gonna tell you how to do it, because there always is.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Absolutely.
So, I'll tell you this, my Labor Day weekend wasn't chaos, but a lot of shit happened kind of at the exact same time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Let's see. Oh god, it's been a whole week. So
hard for you to remember all the details.
Yes, actually, for sure. So, let's see, I'm trying to remember. I had the Friday, nothing particularly interesting happened. Saturday, I had the class, had all that stuff to deal with. I think it was Sunday, Labor Day Sunday. I actually went up to go see, go to like, one of the local food festivals and get some sweets. One time a year, I can get some fresh apple turnovers.
Oh, was that going on?
Yeah, that was going on.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's also the same place where I dropped damn near $100 on this lovely, lovely tea that we are drinking.
It's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, you know who? You know who fucking told me that this existed?
Who?
Some TikToker.
Oh.
Yeah,
well.
his handle is Jesse's Tea House, and he's got a fucking website where he sells the tea oranges, the cakes, oolong, pu'er, and I'm just so excited because it's a whole new world of tea I didn't even know existed, and I'm so happy.
I like tea.
Yes, tea is nice, and it. You know what? I've always been perpetually afraid of ever drinking coffee ever since I was in high school.
Well, I can understand that.
Here's what happened. My best friend in high school at the time she was a very lovely woman, and I do miss her to this day. Our paths, we just kind of grew apart after graduation. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Happens to a lot of people.
Happens to everybody.
And I remember how neurotic and pent up she was, like about a lot of things. You know, which at the time when you're a kid you don't know this, but when you look back on it, you go, oh, you know, it's like sometimes people have a moment of clarity, of like, oh, I was the asshole in that situation. You know what I mean?
For some of us, it never was in doubt.
Mm-hmm. Some people, it takes them a while to learn that they were the asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
But when it comes, it comes. So
Right.
I just remember, you know, she was very, like I said, neurotic, kind of, not anal retentive to the nth degree, but very buttoned up about a lot of topics. And I distinctly remember one afternoon, or no, it was the whole damn day, actually, if I had to chalk up to something. I think it was sixth period. It was just before, or not sixth period. It was like second. It was whatever period was right before you had to ring out for lunch. And she came in, and she apparently had a coffee for the first time in her life, you know. So, of course, since it was the first one, yes.
She had a coffee for the first time of her life in the middle of...
Yeah, like she brought it with her.
Oh.
Yeah, like she came in...
Oh, was it like right after the, this place up here had come into existence?
Oh, the local coffee shop? I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
Either that or was the coffee shop before the one before it.
Right.
Either way.
Either way.
So, here's the thing. She's never drunken coffee before. And,
That must have been a sight to behold.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I don't remember her being particularly hyperactive or
No,
neurotic.
I was the hyperactive one.
Compared to her,
Yes.
Yes.
So she starts vibrating at the speed of fast. My best friend at the time, you know, I still miss her. I do wish her well. We didn't separate on bad terms. We just stopped talking to each other. Damn it.
She went her way, you went yours.
Yeah, essentially. So what had happened was I looked at her just jittering and just being unable to sit still. We're talking ADHD in a meth pipe type of shaken. I vowed to myself, because at the time, despite how small of an understanding of self-awareness I had, I did understand that I was not neurotic like her, and I said to myself, I will never have a cup of coffee for as long as I live, because if one cup of coffee does to her who is not hyperactive, who is not repressing homicidal urges,
She
potentially.
definitely was a very mellow person.
She was more mellow than I was. I like to think I, right now, is more mellow than how I was in high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, damn.
The pre-yoga.
Yeah, pre-yoga me. And...
Oh, you were coiled up like a snake getting ready
yeah,
to strike.
how ironic. The first video you made me do yoga to was a kundalini.
Yeah,
the coiled snake.
The coiled snake.
Yeah, coiled snake yoga, essentially, is what that is.
Memories.
Yeah, I was fucked up that whole day.
You were.
I was.
You were different. After.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way.
You had gotten to the point where I was.
And the thing is, I had no fucking idea.
No, you had no idea. You didn't know.
I thought that was life. I thought that was normal until I realized, oh. And then it kind of led me to the discovery of, okay, if that isn't normal, clearly it's not, because I have felt, I remember feeling better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. If there's another side.
And I started to go, okay, so. Ooh. Third steep.
There you go.
So I started to go, okay, so if what I was doing before was not normal, and this is clearly better, what's causing me to get all before, you know what I mean? And so that's when a lot of stuff started coming into place.
That's awesome. That really is.
Yeah.
That's when
it's also when I got very upset with the matriarch. But that is past.
Right. That's water under the bridge.
At least it better stay that way. But, so let's digress from that, because I'm still not ready to talk about it.
Nope.
Anyway, so what I did this weekend, and it was a torrent of rain this weekend where I went for the food festival.
Kind of all the rain that I was supposed to get.
Yes, I did, and I enjoyed every second of it. I had fucked up my hair that morning. Oh, not bad fucked up. Just, I'm starting to think that Denman brushes are not for me. For people who have curly hair and take care of curly hair, you'll understand what that means. Because I think I'm not...
I know.
I'm not the hair type for a Denman brush. I'm not 100% sure. Or I'm doing it wrong. It's probably I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to correct it sooner or later. Anyways... So I just thought to myself, all right, so it is going to be pouring rain, just cats and dogs and all. Do you know what that means?
Don't step in a poodle.
The poodle? Or the puddle? Are we talking about a dog or a body of water?
Raining cats and dogs. Don't step in a poodle.
No more tea. I'm taking away your tea. Whatever the opposite of inspiration is, I give you that.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what reverse bardic inspiration is, but I decree it now. So anyway, my thought was, oh, it's going to be raining cats and dogs. That means no waiting in lines.
Oh, yeah.
There's less people if it's just fucking pouring rain.
That is true.
And I had the exact same experience this past weekend with the Renaissance Fair. Same deal. Pouring rain. There was a lot of people at that Ren Fair and at the food fair, but not as many as there could have been.
Right. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I really thought about that.
Uh-huh.
I love rain.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Yeah. Which is weird because you and I run cold.
I don't know. I just like rain.
Okay. No problem. Oh, wait. Florida. Never mind.
Something.
Anywho, so I'm not gonna lie. When I first get there, I'm wearing my favorite pair of pants, and I'm just happy because I've got a hoodie on. I forgot the umbrella because I thought I had one in my car. I don't. I got rid of it because it broke. Why do they make cheap umbrellas? Like, or are we just shopping at the wrong places to buy umbrellas?
What I think it is that, we have obviously.
Yeah.
If we were hikers, we would buy quality hiking boots. The fact that we embrace rain, we don't think that we need a $50 umbrella.
Oh.
So it may have more to do with us because we buy an umbrella on second thought.
Sure, exactly.
Like, grab one of those.
Yeah.
We don't go, oh, damn it, I'm tired of getting wet. I need to go get
exactly.
a good umbrella.
Okay.
So that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, because that makes sense. I remember taking an umbrella to the Ren Fair and just being like, oh my God, I have to carry this fucking thing around. Because at some point, I just abandoned using shoes altogether.
And all I really needed was just a big old hat.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly how it always feels like. So I get to this food festival. It is pouring rain. There is not as many people. You know, there's like a light jazz, Tom Petty cover band in the center stage where Town Hall is, of course. Because yes. I like Tom Petty.
Yeah.
And I am just walking around. I'm just happy. I'm just like, ooh, I want to get the slushy. I want some apple turnovers. Ooh, donuts, yes. Which we still got.
I tried one. They're pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Just one.
Good.
They're not mine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can share, but I just didn't want them to immediately go away.
I'm with you on that.
You see what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, I'm walking down the street, and I have possibly one of the most weirdest interactions I've ever had in my life. But I came away not feeling like I just got punked or I misread a cue or something like that. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because sometimes weird interactions are because I misunderstood something or someone tried to force something and I've misunderstood them reinforcing or enforcing this weird situation.
Yeah.
Or something like that because spectrum, just because we're aware of it doesn't mean we can change it sometimes.
True.
And at any rate, so what had happened is I guess I passed some kind of hair salon. And there is some dude out there who is just apparently having more fun than everyone else in the rain besides me.
Okay.
And he calls my attention. He's got this strange foreign accent that I could not place, and I didn't really have time to cognitively think about it. And he hands something to me, and I instinctively reach out for it. Get a cursory glance at what I just grabbed, and I have this weird schism of thought from when I initially picked it up to the next thought of examining this item and coming to the conclusion.
You received an item without taking a good look at it?
Yes. And then upon inspecting what the item was, the thought immediately changed and it caused my brain to break because it is basically... I've experienced mental whiplash is what I'm trying to convey.
All right.
When I grab it from out here, from arm extended, and if you're not looking at it carefully, this looks like a condom.
It does.
So the first
either
thought,
that or a package of Pop Rocks.
something,
Yes.
but I felt it. It's liquid.
Yeah.
It's, because the first thought I had was, did he just fucking hand me a condom on the street in front of God, Jesus, all the apostles, and everyone else?
Prophylactics for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
Which I expect to hear on the streets of Portland, not round there.
I thought they were handing out fire extinguishers in Portland.
No, yes, but, anyway. So, the first thought I had was, did he just hand me a fucking condom?
Wait a minute. What you should have been thinking was, did I just grab from a stranger
a fucking condom? Yes.
All right. Does that mean yes?
It better not. And then I pull my hand to my face with this in my hand, and I read complete age-defying facial treatment cream. It's moisturizer.
Well, that's what it says.
And then the next thought was, oh, he's at his job. Because I've been there before, handing out flyers like, hey, we got a sale in the retail store. Hey, trade in your stuff. I've done that before. So I just have this moment of pure outrage followed by, oh, he's at his job. He's doing a good job. And that just caused my brain to split in two. So much so that I kind of I instinctually did I instinctually did one of my fancy dance turns to look back at him to make sure I saw this. And I see vaguely handsome blonde man just handed me something that vaguely looked like a condom. And I go, I still got it. And I turn back around.
All right.
And he just goes, yes, I love the way you turn. And I do it again and I walk away and I feel awesome. So after that, I immediately go
Blonde
into
with an accent?
Yeah, accent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did his hair color look natural or colored, bleached?
It was a little too shiny, which I'm not sure is gel or hair dye because I am not a cosmetologist.
No, I'm just saying, blonde with an accent is usually northwestern Europe.
Oh, I know.
And those folks do exist in this area.
Yeah, they do. I don't know.
Just curious.
But that's the story behind
Either
that.
or he was Ukrainian or Polish.
At this rate, I didn't have time to ask him because I was so confused because I confused myself.
Because you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Oh! And I go, oh. Yeah, little moment of clarity. So after that, I immediately go to seek help or a place to sit down. I went to see a place to sit down. Okay. Right. And I walk in, there's apparently a new shop up in the town up there that took over something that came before it. I cannot remember, but it wasn't there the last time I went.
There's a good bit of turnover in that.
Oh yeah, and there's going to be a lot more turnover as the year.
Type stuff. Mm-hmm. You recognize the stuff that's been there a long time.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I go into this place because I see the sign outside which says Oxygen Bar.
I've heard of those, but I haven't.
So have I, and I was curious, and I needed to sit down anyway.
Do you bring your own cannula? Do they sell you one?
Well, let me.
Suck helium out of balloons and blow it in your face.
No, let me enlighten you. Because I was also equally as curious.
Oh, not that. That wasn't O2. That was H.
H.
Helium. Anyway.
So, I will enlighten you. I step into this place. The first thing I saw outside was Oxygen Bar and thought literally of nothing else and went inside.
Sure.
So, upon going inside, I realized immediately this is a CBD dispensary.
Oh.
And was a little caught off guard, because again, I saw Oxygen Bar, said, fuck it. Get inside.
You'd have to be high to go into a place like that, I reckon.
Yeah, I guess. And what spooked me the most is, I don't want to say the place we live is, super conservative. It is,
not
but
anymore.
Not anymore. Not like, not like chokingly so.
No.
No, I would describe it as not chokingly so, but there is elements of that here. I didn't really understand how unrestrictive up north was until I went into this building and saw various forms and fashions of glassware out on the counter for everyone to gawk at.
Oh.
Which, that does not happen here. It's like, around here...
No, it's not out in the open.
No,
I mean, it's in a case or
yeah,
it's in
it is either in a case or a shelf or in certain places. Of course, it depends on, like, the counties and whatnot, but most commonly that I've ever run into around here was, you had to have your ID. You had to wait for someone to let you into a separate room from the rest of the building. You couldn't use code names. You couldn't use slang, despite the fact that no one knows what these things are actually called, which is stupid. There's cameras everywhere. They gotta know a password, It's
There was a time, yes.
There was a time, and some places still retain that. So when I just walk into a place and just casually see this out on the counter, and I'm already in a moment of confusion and weakness. I just stared at it going, that is right there. I could pick that up. Pick up. This is symbolizing me picking it up and putting it back down. I could just do that.
Yeah.
You know, and then the owners, you know, they're talking, you know, and I was like, all right, I came in here for a reason.
Was there any oxygen stuff going on?
Oh yeah. They had a couple of chairs set up, very comfy chairs, next to okay. Don't think less of me because like I said, I'm willing to try a lot of stuff.
Sure.
So I asked them directly about the oxygen bar. You know, they gave me a sheet saying, you know, these are the benefits of having concentrated oxygen. And I'm looking at it going, I know all of this information because of my 2 grandmothers. I know this.
Right.
But I'm going, insomnia. Ooh, breathing better. That must be nice.
Oxygen facilitates improved breathing.
Yeah, oxygen facilitates cell turnover. Get the fuck out.
Right.
This is just kind of what you do when you're the child of medical people and or people who have very big medical things happening to and for them.
Yes.
You know, that just happens.
You passed the introduction.
I am past introduction. I cannot legally give any sort of diagnosis or prognosis, but I can spitball like with the best of them.
That's right.
I can make educated guesses like a motherfucker.
Yep.
And that is to the extent of my knowledge. You know, it's like, you know, I train people. I can't lose weight. I'm sticking to the diet. And I say, oh, go have the doctor check your thyroid. Why? Just do it.
Just do it.
Oh my God, I've got a hormone imbalance. All right.
All right.
You taking your meds? Yeah, all right. And then they drop like 20 pounds in 3 weeks.
That does happen.
Uh-huh. I've actively seen it happen, literally, with my eyes. So, basically, I pay for 10 minutes on the oxygen bar because I'm thinking 10 seems like a good number.
Sure.
You know, I'm not in a desperate need for oxygen. Obviously. You know, but more than 10 minutes seems like excessive for someone who doesn't need it, you see. So
10, 15 max.
Yeah, basically. So I'm in the ballpark. Sure. You know, I just took the lower of the 2.
Right.
So this was a very nice sequestered corner in the shop. There was like a folding wall. It was a nice comfy lazy boy. You could just pop that up. You could pop up the legs and recline back. They had like some kind of I think it was a radio, but they made it you know, they gave you like these really good noise canceling headphones and it would just play sounds of the ocean and you would have to wrap the damn oxygen mask under your ears and in your nostrils exactly how grandma does it.
Right.
And I know how to do it because I've seen her do it.
Right.
Hundreds of times.
Yep.
And she's like explaining this is how you, and I'm like, whoop. She's like mid-sentence and already got it in.
Right.
And, you know, they have like a fucking huge stack of replacements. Because they just replace the nose piece every time, they said.
Oh, they better.
Yeah, they better. They had a huge fucking stack.
Uh-huh.
Cleaning equipment, wipe downs. I hook in, I lean back, I recline back, put the headphones on, and, that was weirdly the closest I ever got to astral projecting in my life. Because I went from this moment of pure confusion, my brain's still processing the interaction that I just explained with the dude.
Right.
To utter relaxation and calm and safety, because I am in a corner. Got my eyes closed. I can't hear anything besides the waves of the ocean. There's like oxygen, which what the fuck does that mean to me anyway? And I'm just out. And I come to the sound of a timer, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God there was a timer. I was like, oh, please don't make them poke me with a stick.
Right, you could have been there for half a day.
Exactly. And they would never have figured it out. I could have sat there for the next 3 hours.
Right.
I was at such just solace and peace.
That's cool.
But I'm just going to tell you
I didn't know there was anything to it. I have to check it.
No, here's the thing. You literally,
yeah,
my dude,
yeah.
to use a current phrase, you can just dead ass go over to your mom's, hook yourself into her oxygen tank, and do the exact same thing for free.
Oh, you probably could.
Uh-huh. Which I'm willing to bet that's where this comes from. You know how sometimes, I'm sure you many times in your life, no, hang on 1 sec. Let me get my words out.
Right.
I'm sure you, Mr. ER Man, have encountered numerous situations where people have taken the drugs in such a unique way where it makes you go, how the fuck? Like, there's point A.
Oh, yeah.
Point C is the ER where you're at, and you're going, what the fuck happened at B to make you end up at C?
Right.
So I'm willing to bet the origin of these oxygen bar concepts has to do with the fact that some potentially very young or younger stoner living in his grandma's basement. Because grandma loves loves her grandson or granddaughter. Whatever. And because they're a stoner, and they have to be a stoner.
Well, yeah.
They go like, hey, grandma's on the oxygen tank all day. What does that do? And when they weren't using it, they were using it too. And realized they got very euphoric off of pure oxygen.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah, and I felt that because I knew that was going to happen.
And if it's too pure, it actually knock your breathing drive out and kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Make you apneic.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm not saying oxygen bars are, terrible. But if you got like an extra 10, 15, 20 bucks you don't need,
well,
and you're curious,
disposable income
is about to go.
Is the foundation of that business.
Oh, yes.
That's what a lot of people.
Yes, because here's the thing.
What do poor people feed their pets? Poor people don't have pets.
Poor people don't have pets.
Okay. They didn't in my day.
No.
All right. Disposable income is the foundation. Bare minimum of poor people having pets, like poor people having pets. Yeah. Usually, people like millers and farmers who they watch over a particular crop. And if, vermin get to it, crop is useless. So they get cats and dogs and whatever else. Or any animals they have to work or they're going to eat them.
But they're not, but that's the thing. They're not pets. They're work animals.
They're companions.
Or they're companions. And that was it.
You don't have a house full of support animals.
Mm-mm.
No, you do now.
And some people do need that. I'm not going to dismiss.
And there's two sides of that.
Yeah, I'm not hating.
Some people have support and quote unquote support animals because they're such assholes. They've driven everybody else away. But there's a reason that people that are by themselves are by themselves. Okay?
Indeed.
They either choose it or they drive people away, which in itself is a choice too.
Yes. Unconscious or no. Yeah, I don't. Oh, how much of my boss's business do I want to spread around town? No. It's been a week.
Yeah,
and she's literally told all of her clients.
Okay.
So fuck it. Yes.
All teed up.
Well, yeah. I love tea.
But there's a lot of that has to do with
disposable income. Oh,
I wish I had understood that when I was much younger.
Hey, that's fine.
For years, always having these really interesting ideas to people are like, nobody will ever buy that.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will.
If they got the money, they will.
They got disposable income, they'll buy it.
Yes,
That's it.
They will.
That's the secret.
But right now, no one's got disposable
No one's
income.
got disposable income.
Not really.
Not really.
No.
So we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of things are about to go away, including
things,
and for better or for worse, that also includes my tea. This is not really a tea-ish area, unless all the people moving in are going to keep that market alive.
Well,
which I can accept.
I mean, you just have to go to a different part of town.
Yes, I know.
Okay. I mean, that one shop over there that we went to that closed down, if that shop could, the way the gentrification going on in that area, if that shop would have waited another 5 years before it showed up, there'll be another one there.
There fucking better be,
and,
or I'm gonna have somebody airdrop this shit.
You can already go down to the downtown Main Street.
Yes.
And find this. Okay.
I know.
Because the people that are moving into that area have a higher percentage of disposable income. Even now during this. Because, see, what they've done by living down there is they walk to work so they don't have to own a car. They don't have to buy fuel or that sort of thing. Yeah. I mean,
for better or for worse, for better or for worse, a lot of these cities that are on fire right now really had good public transportation. I will not lie.
It's unfortunate they're driving the tax base out. But
exactly. But you know what?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Sometimes that just is going to happen.
So.
So.
Your boss's business.
Yes. Fuck, I ain't got no more hot water. Ooh. I need like a 32 or not 64 ounce, maybe. Need like a 32 or 64 ounce, like a bigger thermos to hold my hot water. But anyway. I mean, I could just get one of those fancy tea kettles that you just hook it up, tell it what temperature you want it to be set at, and it'll just do it.
Yeah.
But that is the next step. Anyway, my boss's business. Okay, so. All right, I'm not gonna lie.
This is your therapy.
Me journaling is my therapy, which, by the way, I need to do today.
All right.
Fuck. Anyway, so here's the thing. I fully believe that if anyone has any significant part in your life, be it for a season or for a lot longer, it is because they have something important to teach you. In my opinion.
One way or the other.
One way or the other. You know, I don't mean like, oh, I met this person this one time. Does that make it a lesson? Maybe not. But if you spend a significant amount of time with somebody, they're probably there in your life to impart some wisdom. Be it they tell you something, they give you something, you learn from them, something, you know.
Right.
They're there for a reason. So I have to believe that in order to keep my fucking sanity when it comes to my boss. Because I've already extrapolated on the last incident. Happened several weeks ago by this point. Good.
Right.
I'm still not 100% happy with her. Okay. I'm still not 100% happy with her because of it, because the chances are it's going to happen again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well.
And I don't want to have another day where I am a screaming comet, jet fuel rocketing into my sports mode car down the highway.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like days like that. I used to have days like that all day, every day.
Yes. That gets better as you get older.
Yeah, clearly, because this is the first one I've had in probably since I left the warehouse.
I remember when
I left the massage parlor job.
Since I was a couple years younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
I almost had a stroke in traffic one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will get to a point where you're like, man, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Hence the the yoga and everything.
I wished I'd have respected yoga more when I was younger.
Hey, that's fine.
Do.
Look, it's fine.
Right. No, I'm just saying.
You know, you get to when you're meant for it, you see.
Yeah.
So I go in this past Wednesday. It's after I come back from my big weekend. And drinking tea. So it's Wednesday, it's the meeting, because we always have these meetings. We're not about to not have these meetings at some point, but...
Right.
So I go in, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, I missed this thing, I need to do that, I need to write this down on the board, etc., etc. You know, going business. First thing, out of my boss's mouth, I get in the door,
Right.
I get 10 steps into the building, I'm at that archway, you know where that archway is.
Yes.
And she imparts to me that she got a text from her landlord.
Oh, yeah.
That, not the gym's landlord, her house, which at this point, I don't even know why. You know, no, I do know why. Because one of my issues is sometimes and I know everybody does this, where they think that, oh, this person is just like me, operates like me, thinks like me. That's why I got so mad at her over that sexual harassment incident, because I'm thinking, if it was me, he would have been on the ground.
Right.
You know, it was almost like reverse empathy, you know, that whole thing of put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Well,
now, some people say that as a, don't be mean to this person,
right.
but I would also argue of, you know what, you need to do that in order to understand how fucking stupid sometimes people can be.
Right.
You know, because people, they don't think like you. You think like you. That's why it's how you think. So, when I looked at her, going, oh, successful personal trainer, schedule is always full, working like 60, 65 hours a week, takes long weekends off when she does,
right.
Makes her own schedule. I thought, you know, drives a very fancy car. I know you don't care for the corporation that made her car.
Okay.
So, drives a very fancy car. Fast car.
Uh-huh.
Drives a white Mustang.
Yeah.
I know you don't care for them. So, I don't know why. All of these things put together, in my mind, I went, paid for her house, is what came to mind when I put all this together. Because I'm thinking, what I would have done was paid off my house before I got the fancy sports car. Because that's how I would have done it.
She's leasing a house. She's probably leasing that car, too.
Exactly.
That's not a very secure path.
No.
I mean, if you're using it, if it's like a business expense,
mm-hmm.
Now that's different.
And it ain't.
Honestly and truly, if you can like tie it into your,
you know what?
Incorporate and tie it into your business.
Oh,
sure.
I have an idea. She has this one client that she's had for 20 years, and she lives in the mountains nearby. And she uses that Mustang to drive to her house because that's the type of client she is.
Right.
She just drives. The personal trainer comes to her. That might be how she's writing it off, because she's using that car to take her to her client. Because I would do the exact same.
That would work.
Yeah, because I would do the exact same thing. So, when she comes to me, and the first thing out of her mouth is her landlord is not renewing her lease. She wasn't evicted because of anything she did. It was just at the end of her lease, and the landlord basically told her, you got 30 days to leave. Someone came in with cash to buy the house.
All right. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah, now what are you going to do?
And finding a place
to live around here
right now.
Yeah, no, her son, my former trainer, bought her some time because he's gonna be out in he's gonna be out of town for a little while. So is his wife and child. So he bought her some time, but at the meeting she was very unconsolable. Like damn near sobbing, like just shy of sobbing. She's getting kicked out of her house. And she said that she doesn't have anywhere else to go. She said she didn't have the savings to move, to put a down payment on anything.
Nope.
And I sat there in awe. I'm trying not to look down on her. This is a very unfortunate set of circumstances.
Oh, well, what a lot of people don't understand is what's happening is when she was your age, a little bit younger than you, was right when the 1970s were ending.
And the 80s. And
the 80s were kicking off. And the 80s, what people don't realize about the 1980s is it's kind of like the 60s. The 50s were great. The 60s were The 70s were and the 80s, anybody that doesn't think that whoever was elected in the early 80s is president of this country and then trying to tear this individual down, if you want to make it something political, that's fine. But if you don't want to grasp reality, you're just stupid. It doesn't have anything to do with politics. You're just dumb. But there was an uptick in everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's called a bull market.
And that bull market kicked off. And so you could get away with those types of lifestyle choices for the last 40 years.
Yes.
But there's a whole bunch of people that did the little pop that took place in 2008 that drove us back. Well, we were coming back home anyway, but drove us out of California. Didn't get they didn't read the memo.
They didn't see the writing on the wall.
They didn't see the writing on the wall. See, when it happened, when we were out there, when it happened, the first thing that went off the bell that went off in my head was, oh, okay, well,
time to go.
Time to go. We've had a good time.
Yeah.
And I told the matriarch back then, I said, you don't understand. I said, we are living a type of life that is people write stories about.
Oh yeah.
Type of life with places we live.
Yes.
Experiences that we had. And I said, one day there's going to come a time we're going to have to put our shoulder to the wheel in the future.
And that time is now.
And that time is now. And it isn't a bad thing. It isn't a good thing. It's just a cycle. You know, there's spring and then summer and then fall and then winter and then spring and then summer. Everything has a season.
Everything.
So she's been making life decisions based on what she could get away with for the last 40 years without really hammering something down.
Indeed.
And now she's
stuck.
Apparently. And the other thing that a lot of people are going to get is they're first of all they're going to have difficulty embracing the idea that this is actually taking place because what's happening globally, what's happening economically.
Yeah, shit show.
The biggest hurdle for people who have been living and making not the best choices. In other words, instead of buying a vehicle, you lease it. Instead of buying a house, you lease it.
Yes.
Those types of issues. And I understand that, she's a personal trainer. And
yes.
There's a certain.
She makes a shit ton of money.
There's a certain amount of image she's got to portray.
Yes.
Which I think you have the right of. I agree with your approach. Your style.
Yeah, your style. Yeah, my style.
It's not your stuff.
No.
It's your style.
Yeah, I show up to. Here's the thing: I show up to work clean. You know, clothes are nice, all black or gray,
Right.
as the how it dictates.
And if somebody ran into you outside of that place, you would be dressed similar to how you dress now, your style.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well,
I love the. Damn it! I ain't got no more hot water. Hang on. Yeah, I present my style because I go in there. Give me that. Always have backup water.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm like mismatched socks, anklets, bracelets, jewelry. My hair is up. Usually it's in my headscarf sometimes, which I like more of, but I'll get there. But yeah, I'm missing a hubcap, but they don't need to know that. I don't talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you're exactly right. But
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's
It's still me. I'm still presenting me.
right. And the thing about it is, if you scraped all the, well, you don't, in other words, you opened as yourself.
Yes.
Because you can always follow yourself.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of people that open to somebody else. It was like when I watch these marriage proposals, these, fucking, they hire a jet and a blimp and all this other stuff and a scoreboard. And I'm like, dude,
you're going to have to do that for the rest of your life.
You're going to have to do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you set the bar.
You set the bar so high.
Yes.
I love you so much that I actually bought a polar bear tap dancing on a battleship.
Exactly.
You got to be careful about making those types of decisions, and I understand that we live in it. And there's so much about my childhood and what I was taught. Now that
it's coming back, ain't it?
Well, the thing about there is such a materialistic consumerism society.
Yes.
I think that's what's happening. Really,
What is this the end of consumerism as we know it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm down.
Because it got too big. People eat too much.
Yes.
People have gotten too fat.
Yes.
Cars have gotten too polluting. They don't get good enough gas mileage because people want bigger cars. Now you see all these car lots full of these. I heard something, a radio commercial. We have this, it was a car lot commercial.
What, local?
Yeah, for local on the radio. And it was talking about gas. This was the phrase. The phrase that the person said, yes, and we have a lot full of gas sipping, SIPPING, gas sipping SUVs. There's no such thing as There's no such thing as a gas sipping SUV.
Oh, so
what they're doing is they've got all these SUVs that they've taken in on trade, and they can't sell them because they don't get good enough gas mileage. See, I knew something was up when the Orange Man was in office, and he dropped gas. He put things in play that dropped gas to around $2 a gallon. I remember thinking to myself, this is not going to go over because the powers that be don't want gas to be cheap.
No, they don't.
They don't want gas to be cheap. It's not a matter. They don't care how much money you make. They don't care how much money I make. They don't care how much money the average person makes. I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about
the powers that be.
The powers that be. They're all in the same boat, okay? They got us fighting amongst each other. Heck, there's so much tribalism. There's more tribalism going on today than there was 20 years ago.
Which is surprising.
Yeah, because everybody had really gotten to a point where they were kind of getting along in the late 90s, early 2000s, really.
Oh, yeah.
And about the mid-2000s on is when the whole tribal thing really kicked off, and it's gotten much worse, and it's getting much worse, and these people are starting to eat themselves.
You know what? If they had a hand in causing this rift between people, I say, you know what? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Play stupid. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think we've gotten to a point of
basically we're just transitioning out of something unsustainable into something hopefully more sustainable.
Yeah, we're just in.
I'm not talking about
we're just in the rough.
Just geopolitical.
We're just in the rough patch right now.
Yeah, and that
It's like
happens.
the late 20s, early 30s.
Excuse
well,
me.
the 1930s
Yeah.
basically is what's going on right now.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when this type of thing goes on, usually a world war starts on the other side of it. We'll see. We'll see.
Mm.
But ultimately, I just
people wonder why Gen Z's fucked up.
What I'm just saying is, it's just got to a point.
They're gonna nuke Tibet, and we're gonna make memes about it, man. That's what's gonna happen.
I don't know why they would nuke Tibet. Now Taiwan, on the other hand, we'll see.
You know what I'm talking about. They're gonna fire a warhead at Taiwan, and all we're gonna do is just make memes about it. That is where we are as a generation.
For some reason,
and I'll laugh too.
The only thing that's saving Taiwan's ass right now, and I don't know exactly why this is, because of the technology that comes out of Taiwan, the chips.
Oh, I know. It's why half the people it's why half the people around here can't get their fucking cars started.
That's why somebody, sent bro a letter, tried to buy his truck back.
Yeah.
Offered him twice the value of it.
I've had those calls too.
The only problem is twice the value on trade-in.
Yeah.
They didn't want to give him cash.
Yeah. Oh, well.
They just said.
Oh, they said
they
cash.
doubled it cash. Oh yeah, go get it. Okay, but they wanted to give it to him on trade. I'm like, no, don't do that, because they're going to dictate the vehicle they want you to have.
Yeah.
And they're not going to give you. It's not going to work out.
Yeah, it's a bad deal.
It's a bad deal.
Yeah. Oh no, if they offered to pay twice what I paid for Jareth in cash, I would have called you at work, said, "Come fucking get me.
Buy me a bicycle."
Yeah, buy me a fucking bicycle. I'm quitting my job. I'm being a stock trader.
That's right.
I paid a pretty penny for Jareth.
Yeah.
If that was the case,
Good
that would have been
bought that car then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got your money's worth on that.
Oh, I did get my money's worth.
Now, anybody that's bought a car in the last 12 months,
nope,
is not.
Nope.
Not going to work out well. But that's what.
Yeah. That would have been our capital right there.
I mean, maybe that's where we are. I don't think it's an overpopulation problem. I just think that
it's just
people. I've said for years, after living and working in California, those people out there got too much money.
What was that property that you saw that was like 10? It was like 50 acres. But it was $250,000 or something, just fucking crazy like that out there.
No.
Yeah, what was up with that?
It was a house that was less than 1,000 square feet. This is probably 2,000.
This whole building. Roughly 2,000.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Okay.
And
Wait. So if this is roughly 2,000 square feet, and this house was less than 1,000 square feet.
I think it was like 700 square feet.
Okay. So 700, let's just say 700 square feet.
And it was on a piece of property that was about the size of our front yard.
Mm-hmm.
Just the front yard.
Just the front yard.
Not the side, not this side, not the back.
Just the front
yard.
Yes.
If that.
And
they wanted, this was in 2004. And they wanted $720,000.
What the fuck?
I mean, the grass in the front yard. Our porch.
Yeah.
Was bigger than the patch of grass that was in their front yard. You understand? The square.
What the fuck?
Think of the square.
Oh God, I hope California burns to the fucking ground.
No, you don't understand.
Another phrase that. I want the Bay Area to burn to the fucking ground.
No.
People living outside the Bay Area, they're fine.
Well,
I got no beef with y'all.
There was just too much money out there.
Exactly.
And the guy was like, this is $720,000, and it was an old. That when Marin used to be, you remember the redwoods?
Yes.
Okay, Marin used to be.
That was some scary shit.
Marin used to be all redwoods. Okay, all of that used to be redwoods. We're talking about 100 years ago. Okay?
I know. I'm just like,
of people don't have anything to do with it. All right.
Yeah. I'm not an eco-terrorist, but
so these houses, these were cookie cutter mill hill houses, a sawmill house.
Yes, because
Okay.
redwoods.
Redwoods.
Yes.
Okay.
I am aware.
And I went in there, and being from where we are, from used to be Textile Central.
Exactly.
Half my family grew up in cookie cutter mill hill houses, and I said, "This is a mill hill house."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh no, this is not a mill." I said, "Dude, don't tell me what a mill hill house is." I said, "I know what a mill hill house is."
Yeah, I'm from blank.
I'm from blank. Yeah, and I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it in a negative connotation.
No.
It's just the structure of the house, the way it was built, is a cookie cutter mill hill house.
Because you know what
Because
that looks
I know
like.
what it looks like.
Just as you, as an ER nurse, knows when someone's dead or
when
not.
somebody's dead or dying.
Yeah.
And the guy was trying to argue about it. I said, listen, dude. I said, and he was being nice about it, but they would do things like that.
Yeah.
Like this one time I went to, they were selling rugs in the parking lot of a hardware store,
Mm-hmm.
and I went in there and looked at him, and he was like, these silk rugs. He goes, yes, they're made from Himalayan silkworms. I said, dude, don't you dare try to shoot any shit with me, okay? You try to tell me that Himalayan silk? No, man. I said, I'm not no white blonde chick, man. You're not going to. I said, I'm just looking at it. I said, but you save that shit for somebody else. And
don't be gaslight me.
Don't be gaslight me.
Yeah.
Himalayan silkworms. Ooh, that we brushed them out every night before we put them on a pillow to go to sleep. Nah, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, shut the fuck
So
up.
anyway, this house was about
This is why I still buy all the on sale shit at the bougie stores.
This house was about $720,000.
That is insane.
And I told the guy, I said, look, man. I said, we were just walking around.
Oh, yeah, you're just curious.
It just happened to be we were walking down the sidewalk.
It was an open house.
It was an open house. We're like, hey.
Oh, were other people in that building?
Yes.
That's why he was getting that. That's why he was adamant about it. He didn't want the people with money to go in there.
Well, he didn't know me from Adam's House Cat. And the way I looked.
Still.
Apparently, I would, sunglasses.
Yeah.
I had people almost pin me up against the wall because I would always wear sunglasses because my eyes are very sensitive to sunlight.
Yes.
And
likewise.
and I'm not big on getting in people's space.
No.
And I don't like people in my space.
Yes.
So I kind of walked around, apparently giving people the impression that I was famous and just trying to hide.
Yeah.
I had a number of people, especially this woman, but she posted me up and was staring at me trying to figure out who I was.
He was like, I'm some dude.
I'm just some schmo, lady. Get away from me.
Yeah.
But that type of thing happened all the time.
Get the fuck out of my face, push her away.
I told the guy, I said, look, man, I said, by that time, he and I were just having a conversation. We were just two dudes having a conversation.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
And I just said, look, man, I said, even if I had the money, which I don't, I said, but even if I had the money, I said, I couldn't buy this place. I said, even if I was rich or wealthy or whatever.
Yeah.
I said, if my family.
Yeah, your family.
My family came to visit me out here.
Uh-huh.
And they would be walking around inside that shack.
Yes.
I mean, it was very nice, obviously.
Yeah,
the yard
it was very
was
dressed up.
It was very dressed up. And I mean, but $720,000
for that?
For that, that was probably the size of 2 baseball dugouts, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
My family would shame. I told them, I said, my family would come out here and shame me. They were like, boy, you paid $720,000 for this. Didn't we raise you any better? And it'd be like, Paw, I'm a millionaire. Don't you understand? No, we raised you better.
We taught you the value of money.
We taught you the value of money.
And they were not.
It was just what the market would bear.
No, I get it.
Okay.
By people who were not taught to value.
Who were not taught to, obviously were not.
Clearly not taught the true value. Yeah.
Okay. It was like years ago, my first real job, paying $10 for a grilled cheese sandwich. They were like, you got the money? I said, when I was making.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
fuck it.
That don't mean I want to get robbed. I'm not paying $10. I'll go get a loaf of bread and some cheese and cook it on the coffee pot burner in my hotel room.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
not going to pay $10 for a grilled cheese. This is 20 years ago.
Shit.
22 years ago. I'm not going to pay $10 for a grilled cheese sandwich.
No, here's
here's
the thing. The only way I would pay $10 for a grilled cheese sandwich is if it was a restaurant where that was one of only 3 menu items.
I better get a foot massage, too.
No, I'm just saying, restaurants that have, like, a limited menu, like, less than 10 items or less,
right,
they are the best, because they have perfected.
Well, you understand what you're walking into.
Yes.
So you better.
Yeah, that's the other difference. You need to understand where you're at.
Yeah.
The context of where you're at. It's like if, I hate to use this as a metaphor. It's like if I took your mom to my favorite bougie store, and I just let her roam.
Right.
And she would be looking at me like, how much for that? How much for their eggs? Or something like that?
Right.
Because that's... And number one, I don't buy their eggs anyway. Because I know better too. Again, buy the stuff that's on sale. Like, buy one, get one free. 2 for X number of dollar value. That's what I tend to gravitate towards. So...
Well,
but most people they don't get
right.
there.
They don't get it. They weren't raised on it. They don't have any understanding.
Yeah.
I was reading.
If I go to like I don't know, a head shop, I don't wear my work shirt there because I don't want people to look at me and go, that personal trainer goes here. Oh my God, Barbara.
Well, culturally that impacts things here.
Yes.
Where in other places
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But, I mean, I was even reading the other day, it was talking about the newest percentage of customers that are shopping at, American Dollar General.
Dollar General, yeah.
Make over $100,000 a year.
Really?
That's a big percentage. They've had a big increase in their customers. And there's people coming in the parking lot with $100,000, $200,000 vehicles. Okay.
Times are changing. I mean, you said it yourself. You found a couple of hot rods around town. They had like an Uber or a Lyft sticker in their windshield.
Oh yeah.
Like fancy cars, Lexuses, Mustangs.
What was one had a pizza delivery thing on them.
Yeah, was that the Corvette?
No, it wasn't a Corvette. It was something like a. No, not that. It was.
I know it wasn't a Lamborghini.
No, it wasn't, but it was...
Tesla?
It might have been a Tesla.
It might have been a Tesla.
It had a pizza delivery.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Tesla.
Pizza Hut light thing on top of them.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
You're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're about to feel the wrath of Papa Musk in the next 6 weeks.
I mean, I'm not throwing my nose at them. I'm not making fun at them. I mean, we're.
Oh no,
I'm
still, and I'm still actively telling, many of my clients, like, if you're gonna sell your house, do it right fucking now, or if you're gonna buy a house, do it next year.
Oh, you gotta wait.
Yeah. Oh, I've told them, like, wait.
You gotta wait.
Trust me. Like,
give it a year at least before you do any type of big ticket purchase.
That's what you and the Matriarch are doing for one of y'all's vehicles, right? You're gonna officially make
right now is one of the worst times in history you can buy a car.
This is a seller's market.
It's definitely a seller's market.
Yeah, and
there's nothing
wrong with that.
No,
just how it is.
A year and a half from now is going to be as far as vehicles. I don't know exactly. I hadn't really taken a good look at the real estate, and I don't know that much about real estate. Real estate, I kind of understand, but it's a little more involved.
Oh yeah.
Where cars just
car is a car.
Car is a car.
You understand cars better.
Car than I do real estate, yeah. And a year from now, especially now, because I'll tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
And if people out there, if you're looking for a more gas efficient vehicle, wait a year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Because basically what's happening is people are going at what people have done in the last year. Is they have embraced the, hey, we need to tighten our belts. It's unfortunate because there's people that are caught in the transition of it. And their heart's in the right place.
Yes.
They're saying, hey, we don't have $30, $40, $50, $60,000 to
Mhm.
buy an electric vehicle, but let's go ahead and get one.
No, just
Okay.
wait another year and a half.
So, but there are people that have already made
Yeah.
that. They've already made that jump.
Yes.
Especially last year. People last year,
Oh,
right
yeah.
before inflation really kicked up and started going up, they purchased really expensive, big ticket items like an electric car or a hybrid or something like that.
Something, yeah.
And so their heart was in the right place. They made a good decision, but they didn't realize what was getting ready to happen to the market. And you and I just figured it out.
We figured out this year, last year?
Just in the last 10 months.
Yeah, in the last 10 months.
We just kind of, 10 to 12 months. 10 to 12 months.
Yeah, let's give it a good 10 to 12 months.
When Bitcoin topped out in November.
Basically.
And then the stock market topped out in the first week of January, January 4th.
And then it was only afterwards
and it was
you
only
and I
watching
looked
it
up
fall
and
that we studied what we had studied. That we went, oh, that's what it's talking about.
Yeah.
We have to live through it to see it, to understand it.
But that's usually how Elliott Wave goes.
But
anyway.
that's how we learn.
Indeed.
And
we definitely looked up with what we know right now and looking at where it's, gonna go, and we went, oh shit!
And we still didn't realize it.
We're in a complex wave 4. I'm calling it.
Yeah, and
it's complex, so it's gonna go up and down and up and down and up and down.
It's gonna go basically overall. It's gonna channel sideways.
Wait a minute. Did we get out of the wave 4 or are we in the wave 5? God damn it! You talk. I need to know this.
No, there's still a wave 5. I think there's still a wave 5 coming. I think.
Yeah, I know.
We're in an ABC down.
Oh, I know that, but no, I'm talking about like the Dow, because the Dow is it as far as the U.S. economy goes.
But it depends on what you.
Litecoin is pissing me off, but it's in a corrective, so I'll allow it.
Yeah.
It's not me fucking up. That's what I enjoy about this now.
Right.
It's not per se my mistake. This is just timing's off.
Just learning to surf the wave.
Yes.
And we understand the wave and it can dump you at any time, but at least we half-ass know what we're looking at.
Exactly. And I appreciate that. 1 month on the Dow.
But what people did was they went out and bought these really expensive vehicles with these highly leveraged loans.
Yes.
These people they're borrowing a car loan for 7 years. That's unheard of. It's absolutely unheard of. So these vehicles are going to be repossessed. Okay, between now and in the next 8 to 12 months. So the best time to buy a vehicle, in my opinion, and for legal reasons, this is a joke because we do not give advice, financial advice, health advice. We don't give advice.
No.
Okay, we're just talking. I'm just talking out of my ass and spitballing here. Okay. Wait for those big ticket items, especially a vehicle. Like I said, I don't understand real estate as much as I'm going to, and I don't really have any interest to know anything about real estate.
Not really.
Not really. I mean, we've done what we've done. We've accomplished what we've accomplished, and we're okay.
And that's okay.
But next summer.
It's going to be a lot different.
There's going to be a lot of repos available that are going to have they're going to only have one owner, and they're going to be less than 3 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if I'd want to buy an electric car right now. I think I'd rather buy something that's a hybrid. That runs on gas. Yeah. But it's an electric vehicle that runs on gas.
Yeah.
Not just charged. I don't know if I'd want a purely electric vehicle
now. This isn't the area for it.
No,
not a pure one.
Well, the freaking infrastructure out in California isn't even set up to support it. Look what they're going through.
Yeah, I know, but they at least have more of a setup than we do.
They do have more.
It's not good as it should have been to begin with, but what do you expect? So at any rate.
I mean, and I understand where they're going with it. I just don't. I don't know if I'm not anti-electric vehicle.
No,
I'm not.
No,
I just don't understand. They're trying to. This transition is going to be painful, regardless.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh no! When last year, when Budapeg or whoever the hell it was said something like the best chance we have at saving the planet is all of us were to get electric or hybrid cars, which at the time were like 50, 60 K, give or take. And I looked at that and I went, is that going to be the modern day let them eat cake? It is 100 years from now, when they're talking about this exact incident, they're going to point to this motherfucker and go, that was there, let them eat cake.
That's extremely...
like, it is... Am I alone here? Like, I don't that was some dumb shit. I'm not even that politically savvy, and I knew that was some dumb shit.
I think Ford is in the process of creating a vehicle that they say you'll be able to purchase for around $30K, an electric vehicle around $30K. We'll see.
Indeed.
But even still, how you gonna run an extension cord through the
exactly
through the window here out into the driveway?
I know your ma's car. She has a new car.
She did. She bought a hybrid.
Yeah, the way it works is weird.
Well,
and I don't fully understand how it works. It's like you plug it, you do give it gas.
Yes.
But she doesn't plug it into an electric charging station.
No.
Because the gas also powers the battery.
Charges the battery.
Which keeps the car running. And
that's kind of basically,
so
it's an advanced, that's exactly what a vehicle is. The vehicles that we have.
She has a gas-powered car with extra steps.
Okay. We have... I mean, it's what the Priuses when they first came out. They use, instead of 20 gallons every 2 weeks, they use 4 gallons
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
I can live with that.
I can too.
Sure.
The thing that I'm just concerned about is the whole fully electric.
Yeah.
Fully. I don't
think we're there yet.
I don't see the infrastructure. And see, the problem is there's some legislation that's recently passed. That is supposed to go into creating that infrastructure.
Sure.
But that's not where the money's going.
Where is the money going? To
the money actually is going to either going to buy our debt, this North America's debt, and subsidize, because of what's happening to inflation, this money that's earmarked to go create the infrastructure for these electric vehicles and things. That money is being rerouted to people who can't pay their mortgage, can't pay their cars, can't get a job, can't make enough money. See, that's why I think the southern border is wide open, because everybody's been talking about, hey, we need to make more money over the last 20 years. The minimum wage needs to come up. That's because the cost of living has got so much higher.
Indeed.
Well, that's not going to happen. Basically, what's going to happen is southern. This is my opinion. The southern border is wide open because they are importing a population of people who will work for much less, because they know how to live on less. They know how to eat beans and taters and cornbread. Because that's the diet.
No, I remember.
No, I mean that's just a. What I'm saying is they instead of an individual nuclear family, 2 parents and 1 kid or 2 kids with a big house, there's going to be 3, 4, 5 families living in we've already seen it in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 families that are living in that one house.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where we're headed. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it doesn't have any impact on us.
No, it doesn't. Because we understand
We understand it. We made decisions about this sort of thing years ago.
Yeah. And here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that to begin with.
There's nothing wrong with that to begin with. But that's where it's headed.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what's going on. I think... because living on the East Coast, I went and worked and we lived on the West Coast. I had all this information that I had gleaned from what people said that were local. But when you get out to the West Coast, you realize that all the work, quote unquote work, all the grunt work being done out there on the West Coast
Yes.
is all done by people from South of Texas. All of it.
Which was startling to me as a child growing up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Where that is not the case.
I remember the first time we came back here and your brother saw a white man on a lawnmower. He had no concept.
Oh, yeah.
He just looked at me and he looked at that guy and looked at me and looked at the guy and I was like, yep, that's right, son. Here we cut our own grass.
Yeah, here we cut our own grass, worked on our own cars.
Own cars.
Yes.
Okay, you know.
I know.
So
because that's just how we do.
That's just how we do. And if people want to, first world, second world, third world, I don't know what any of that means. All I know is here in North America, we have gotten a little
very first world,
extremely first world.
Yes.
Okay. And
honestly,
we're getting ready. And it's not like it's just us.
No, it's everyone.
It's everyone is getting ready. The balloon is
everyone's getting ready to get popped in the mouth.
Yeah, everybody's getting ready to get popped in the mouth.
Yeah, our inflation is about to get flipped upside down sooner or later. Something's gonna happen. I've shared with those videos about let's see, Russia invaded the Ukraine for reasons I'm not 100% sure about. I still think it has to do with food.
That's part of it.
Yeah. So, because here's my question.
And you can't really trust the media
about what is actually
going on.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's my question. Here's the thing.
I mean, you can't.
There's about to be a huge financial reset in the next 5 to 10 years. If even that, the start of it is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years.
They've just printed so much money that mathematically they're not going to be able to rein this monster back in. It may crash the dollar.
Exactly. So, basically...
The US dollar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So, we're about to hit a huge reset button. Why would you start a war when everybody's about to go down with a ship?
Well, the thing about
why would you expend your resources instead of holding fast and going, let's not do anything stupid, let's not get in any issues.
That particular country
turtle up.
Has been kind of isolationist.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In and of itself. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's
they didn't need us here.
Are they even part of the UN?
Oh,
why does the UN?
No.
Oh, that's why.
They're not.
The UN is fucking useless.
Yes.
Like, here's the thing. If anyone had any doubt about the UN having any sort of purpose...
And it's happened before.
I know. It's like, this is a place where we can talk. Right. Isn't that what it's supposed to be for?
Well,
we can talk all this out.
After World War I, it was the League of Nations.
Yes.
Which was the first
iteration.
I mean, I'm sure there was something similar earlier.
Sure.
But
some kind of council.
Global, hey, we all need to get in the same room, so this type of thing doesn't happen anymore.
And then it happens again.
And then it collapsed.
Uh-huh.
And then after World War II is when the UN started. And we're in that same cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I think North America...
that's what the UN is for.
Honestly, truly, it has to do with printing money to support a population that doesn't produce.
I get it.
It's just like what people don't realize about the Colosseum in Rome is the reason that they had the Colosseum was these people were entertained because they didn't have jobs. When if you read about what the Colosseum was actually doing,
it was a distraction.
Literally. The crime rate was lower during this time when everybody was at the Colosseum watching.
Because everyone was in one place.
Everybody was in one place.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, people that were the spectators, they were the non-producers.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
this is also why you read in history that as the Colosseum continued to exist, more and more nefarious events started to be held there.
Right.
Like,
it took more, it's kind of like
it was, I think at the beginning, I'm not, let's see, they would flood this.
When an addict seeks that next high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, at first it was like two dudes fighting each other, and then it was like two dudes fighting each other to the death, and it's like, okay, let's have 2 versus 1, or 2 on 2, and let's have this one guy just have a net and the other guy be fully armored.
And then
and then that was when the whole feeding people to the lions and tigers and bears
and then,
by.
And then Rome got so oppressive that we always think about them feeding Christians to the lions, and Christ was crucified. They literally got to a point in Rome where they would have criminals or people that were outside, and some of them were Christians, because at that time Christianity was not the state religion.
Yes.
Literally crucified on a cross on the street corner.
Oh yeah, that's just what they
as
did.
a symbol to the population.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like on every
like a row.
Like you and I would walk down the street and see traffic lights.
Yeah.
Imagine every time you come to a traffic light,
yeah,
there's somebody nailed to a cross.
Yeah, there. Before Christ's crucifixion, that was literally their that was their method of execution.
That was how they kept them. That was their threat to the population.
Yeah.
If you step out of line,
this is what's going to happen.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the level, the brutality that it got to keep the population under control. Because
when we think of old-timey ways of executing people, it's usually the guillotine or just an axeman beheading people. That's quote-unquote the civilized way of executing people. Which, at the time, we didn't realize the brain was still active after about upwards of, I think, 6 minutes?
6 minutes.
Something like that. Like, in that ballpark. Hey, we didn't know.
Who knew?
Yeah, but
nailing the live person to a cross.
And that's how you execute them?
And you walk past them while you're going to the grocery store?
Yeah, that's the execution.
While
that's
they're
not
dying slowly?
Yeah, that wasn't temporary. It wasn't like 30 days in jail. That was the death sentence.
But see, that's
slowly.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
We're all people, they lose the context of how these things and these situations evolve. Okay, somebody didn't just go, "Oh, hey, it's a Tuesday." What do you think about nailing somebody from Judea up to a piece of wood and put them over there on North Ridge and the corner of North Ridge and Main Street? No.
Gaius!
Yeah.
You fucking genius!
That's brilliant.
Take the reins to my carriage.
They just went, okay, we've done this, and each time they quell this spirit, this revolution. Revolution actually has a positive connotation. There's nothing positive about this.
This societal breakdown.
It's a societal breakdown that they have to keep up in the ante, up, and it basically.
And it's hard to get past. It's hard. Here's the thing: what's more extreme than nailing a live person to a couple pieces of 2x4? Like, how do you outdo that at that time?
Right. They would.
What's going to happen?
They've done it over in the Middle East. They would public beheadings, and
flogging, stoning. Yeah.
Every time this type of thing has happened, it always. What's the devolves, evolves, whatever.
Devalues?
No. I mean, it becomes. I mean, evolution. It becomes this. There has to be a word for something that evolves into this and de-evolves at the same, because
de-evolving.
The behavior is de-evolving.
Yeah.
But basically, the brutality is evolving. You see what I'm saying? And so
basically, they just kept getting bigger sticks.
Just getting bigger sticks.
Yes, essentially. Carrot or stick, they kept getting bigger sticks. Yeah. Until finally
till the whole thing broke.
Yeah, because they couldn't find a bigger stick.
And I think that's we're either I think that's the I think that's
that might be the secular purpose behind
that's the path that we're on.
Oh. Just we're gonna eventually run out of finding a bigger carrot or a bigger stick.
Well, I mean, in other words, what was called the Dark Ages, which really is a stupid phrase.
Yeah, it just meant that Rome, left,
Rome,
and people just went back to their original ways before the centurions showed up.
Right, prior to being occupied.
Hell, even in like during and after World War II in this country, we had victory gardens.
Yeah.
Which is people growing their own food instead of going to the grocery store.
Instead of going to the grocery store.
We're just gonna have to go back to doing that.
There's just not gonna be so many. There's just not gonna be so many McDonald's and Starbucks. That's basically it.
We need less Starbucks.
I don't think we're gonna have soldiers on the street. I mean, those types of things is always a possibility.
Yeah, I know that.
And as far as, well, it's unsustainable.
Oh, I know it's unsustainable.
I mean, you can't repress a population of people. You can only do it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're just going to rise up and take you down.
What do you think is happening over south of Russia? They are literally protesting something that has not been done in a long time.
You know, that's what I said. You know, I thought, you know, when technology increased, we'd get a better picture of what was going on. But no, they've just been able to cover it better. And people are so dumb.
I know this.
That's the one thing that gets me here in North America. I mean, and it's not, well, I take that, well, it's not that they're just so dumb. They just don't want to believe that this dynamic exists. Everybody's been living in Never Never Land for the last 40 years. Of course they don't want to believe that this type of reality.
Oh, I know that.
The world is so hard and it hurts. Well,
I've got an example about that.
Okay.
My boss.
Oh, well, yeah.
Which
God
honestly,
doesn't hate you.
No, God does not hate
Life
you.
Doesn't suck.
No,
You gotta understand.
She was telling me, and here's the thing. Like I said, I do think her heart is in the right place, and I know I keep saying that because it's true, and it's not the only damn thing that's holding me together right now.
Sure.
Because it's looking like, if anything, basically, if her housing situation, which she did eventually work out with her son, so she's got that. But all I know is if I suddenly don't have a gym to train anybody anymore, my next job, more than likely, if it isn't the yoga instructor, which that's going to take some time. Teacher training takes time.
Yeah.
And I literally just went there this past Friday, so you know. Things take time.
Right.
My next job is about to be a desk clerk at the fucking dentist's office. Because I don't have to be a salesman.
You know somebody?
Do I?
Yeah.
I just went on like one of these job application websites because they're there. And I saw like, this was like a couple weeks ago. And I saw some kind of advert for a front desk clerk at this local dentist office in town or in the city. And I was like, and I'm thinking like, yeah, it's not going to pay as well as a personal training job. What does? But I'm thinking, I get to sit down. I get to be in a place that's quiet for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm not a salesman. I just check people in, ring them up, check out their insurance. I think the worst part of my day is when I have to be the front desk clerk that... I don't say this to be mean to any person, but I distinctly remember the day we went to that one dentist for your tooth, and we had to split pay the cost because fucking insurance, you know. They gave you a bad quote, basically, is what I remember from that.
Right.
And it even shook you to where you told the dentist, like, you were more nervous paying for it versus having the dental work done.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the amnesia and everything.
Right.
Or anesthesia, excuse me.
Right.
And I distinctly remember the look on that poor clerk's face of, I am not surprised, and I've seen this before.
Right.
And I think that'd be the hardest part of my day, is watching people be emotional as they scramble to find every penny and nickel they could to pay for their health.
Right.
For their health.
Yeah. I had to take out a loan just to have good teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not saying it's going to be an easy job, but I'm not selling anything, so I'll take it. Doesn't have to be much. I don't need much. Not anymore. Or not anymore.
Yeah. So, but...
See, because you see what happened was... Sorry, back to the original point. You see what happened with my boss about the, not believing these things are in operation in our planet. Is she was just...
She thought the party was going to last forever.
Not necessarily. No, she does have an understanding of reality. No, she's not so far out there. Not like people we've met out west.
Right.
Or like that in the opposite direction. Not in the ballpark, I'll say that. Okay. But, no, she was, just talking about how, she was just going like, oh my god, did you hear what's happening over the Ukraine? And I'm thinking, oh god, and I said to her, oh god, what now? Because I'm thinking, they carpet bombed another city, or they uncovered, like, satellite footage of a mass grave site, or, they located a place where, sure. Something extreme. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be glib about this. I swear to God, I'm not. And she tells me it's like they have footage of Russian soldiers just pillaging and raping and killing and castrating people out in the streets of the city. And I'm thinking, and I say to her, yeah, that's war. That's war. And she's just looking at everyone in the gym because she's got like a bunch of people. She likes to train a whole bunch of people inside 1 hour, get a bunch of people to split the hour. Hey, some people like that. Sure. And, she just has this little gossip ring going on. It's like, can you believe it? It's like, almost completely ignoring what I just said. And because she just kept going like, I don't understand it. Why would you do that? Looking at me while also ignoring the words coming out of my mouth. That is war. Right. That is what happens in a war. That's correct. It does not matter what side. Like, the best example I give to people is Saving Private Ryan in the opening scene when they finally took the beach in Normandy. And they massacred... The U.S. force, the Allied forces massacred the Axis forces. People surrendering on their hands and knees, and they gunned them down like dogs because that is war.
That's war.
Yes, that's a war crime.
Yes, it is.
But the countries that lose go to The Hague, not the victors.
That's correct.
Unless it's something really heinous, in which case that usually gets dealt with in private.
Yes. Or
they're made into an example, but one or both.
Both. It's like, both sides commit war crimes.
Yeah, both sides commit war crimes, but the loser is the one charged with it.
Is the one charged and punished.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Political parties.
Because that's
both
war.
Both are corrupt.
Yeah.
Both.
But only one takes the heat.
But only one's going to take the heat.
And it may change here and there. Yeah, the losing side is the one that takes the heat. Because that is war.
That's war. That's it.
And I am just looking at her going, and once again I find myself in the position of, how am I so young and I know so much? Not as pride. I used to say that with pride, right. Or a lot more pride, especially when I was in school, because, boy, it served very well. Yeah. But I just remember going, how...
The brutality of war is what keeps war short.
Yes.
And if there's civility in war, that's what propagates it.
Indeed. So...
that's what ended the Civil War in this country. Mm-hmm. Sherman marched and burned Atlanta.
Yeah.
Total war. Yeah. That destroyed everything. A path, a swath
I kind of wish that he burned it down twice, because Atlanta is just...
Yeah, it's a mess.
Look, here's the thing. There's a thrift store in that city that I want to go visit, but I can't.
You better not. Not with me knowing about it. You better not.
No, you're just gonna see me show up one day. I've got this. I took the truck because I'm gonna buy a lot of shit, and I just show up and I've got I've got like a whole full bed of truck of like clothes and furniture, and I am traumatized. That's when you know I've been to that one store.
You can't even. People are getting.
There are 27 Peachtree roads, streets, drives, and they're all called Peachtree. Who the fuck? Who made that decision? I want to know. I want to know because I want to bury them neck deep in the sand.
I'm sure they're already dead.
And then
they're already buried.
Well, then someone needs to bring them back alive.
Judge Roy Beanham, where you dig them up and shoot them and hang them and then rebury them.
No, I'm gonna like toss his skull into the ocean so he never finds rest.
Oh,
fuck y'all.
Yeah, that's where we are. And
Indeed.
your boss is, and that's what's.
And here's the thing. I don't know how to explain this to people without sounding egotistical when I say, how am I so young and know so much, and you who have lived so much longer than me know so little?
Your
and I'm like,
your understanding of life did not come solely from a book.
Apparently.
A textbook, let's put it that way.
Apparently so.
Okay.
God.
You and Bro, by the time you hit public school, you had more life experience. Probably
I don't even know if
the majority of your peers will have their entire life, and you had that by the time you hit high school.
Yeah, I know. I had gone to Europe by the time I was 14, which is something not many people can say. No, and I'm not even like Richie Rich or anything. No. And I don't even think that's fully it either. Because there has to be something more to it.
Oh, well, no.
I don't mean in terms...
a lot of people that are compartmentalizing, the reality of things, and they just don't want to accept what's going on around them.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
You can't learn something unless you accept the problem with it.
Yes, no, I understand that. But here's the other thing. One of my clients who... This is not someone I mentioned to you previously.
Okay.
It's the first time I'm bringing this lady up. Who... Look, I've had some bad clients before.
Sure.
I've had clients that started out bad, that turned out to be one of my good, some of my good friends. People who I've met who, I've met some people who, when we first met, it was kind of like, we're just feeling each other out. We don't know who the fuck we don't click, basically. Mm. I've trained people who we clicked immediately, and then either I changed or they changed, and by the time they left, I'm like, get the fuck out of my gym. I don't want to train with you no more. And then you just have people who come in, they're going to be a problem. Mm. Oh, yeah. But because of the paycheck, you can't really stop. But because the paycheck and the whole thing of you're helping people by taking weight off of them and extending their life, they will still sign on with you. This is that client where I saw her and I'm like, unless you do exactly what I tell you, this is going to be a problem. Right. Not in a disobedient type of way, just in a, all right, look, if you want to apply any sort of non-secular meaning to being a personal trainer, like if you want to attach a spiritual meaning to the purpose of that job, the secular understanding of being a personal trainer, you are taking people from the worst shape of their life and getting them all toned, tightened, and firm. The secular understanding of my job is personal trainers add years and they add years to people's lives.
Quality.
They add years and quality to people's lives. Sure. And I understand that. And based on that, and from that, both of those perspectives, I try to be a trainer from both of those perspectives.
Right.
This client, have you ever met someone who was so... And I know you have. I'm just wondering if this was going to lead into, like, an interesting story. Have you ever met somebody who was so fucking miserable they had a permanent frown and wrinkle in between their eyebrows? like a permanent, I am sad and you cannot console me look on their face at all times.
I mean, I've run across people like that.
Okay.
I have been like that for a period of my life.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, this is that client. Every time I meet with her, I know she's trying to lose weight. I am not dismissing her in her journey to becoming healthier and trying to avoid knee surgery. Yeah. And I told her that. You want to avoid knee surgery, you're in the right place, and this is the right time to do it. And I said that. And that I meant that. But it is so hard to train her. She is just so miserable. And I don't feed into it because I can't.
No.
And I am just like...
It's that language that she speaks.
No, I get it.
Talk any other way.
But what's so weird is she and I got talking about music one time, and she brought up I think she was asking me like what kind of bands I liked because she and I don't like my boss's playlist. And I said to her, you wouldn't know it looking at me like, I like thrash. And she's like, what? No. Like, yeah, man. Like, you wouldn't believe. And then we got on the subject of Alice Cooper, and I said, I like him. And she got, like, a very perplexed look on her face, saying, he's a preacher, right? And I said, yeah, he's also a preacher's kid. Yeah, and she's like, yeah, but he still did all that in his career. And I said, yeah, sometimes that happens with preacher's kids. And I told her there are usually 3 ways children and grandchildren of preacher's kids turn out. They either grow up normal people, for the most part, I guess. They go into the same field as their parent or grandparent into ministry, or they come out and they're just twisted. Not necessarily evil, although that can happen.
Although it does happen.
It has been known to happen, but a lot of times they're very twisted, like Alice Cooper and I think Daniel Tosh? I think he's a preacher's kid? Which would make so much more sense.
Alice Cooper was just a shock rocker.
Oh, and he's
he's literally Vincent Price with a guitar.
Oh, yeah. And I love it.
So there's a lot of people that...
But here's the thing. This was like back in the 60s and 70s. Look, this is a time when people thought like Ozzy was the fucking Antichrist. Yes. He's not the Antichrist. That is just... That's just how they do things.
Shtick.
It's a shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly. It's like, what do you mean Elton John doesn't wear the peacock costume all the time? Because he doesn't wear it all the fucking time. Yes, he's gay, but he doesn't wear that costume all the time. Oh. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very jealous.
David Bowie. He's playing a character.
Yeah.
Crying out
Ziggy
loud.
Stardust and whatnot.
Don't you know theater when you see it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going on in the politics. It's driving me bananas.
Oh my God.
Don't you understand the theater that's taking place in front of you?
No. No one does.
They don't.
I mean, even to this day, people think. Oh my God! I can't believe
all the time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, people think that the characters actors play on screens is them.
Is them.
But they're not.
It's like Danny Glover in The Color Purple.
Oh, Jesus
He did a
Christ.
tremendous job, and it was like people wanted to kill him.
Yeah, exactly, because he played it so well. The lady that played Joan Crawford in Mother
Dearest.
Yeah, Mother Dearest. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Same thing. She just got typecasted.
She got typecast. She won an Oscar for it.
Good. She deserved it.
She deserved it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't knock the hustle.
No.
But that's not who those people are.
It's like people, I listen to people sit around and talk about soap operas.
Exactly.
In the middle of the day, talking about, girl, did you see what Jenkins did last week? Like,
he killed Tyrone. It's like, who the fuck is Tyrone?
It's a TV show.
We still do it today, talking about shit like the House of Dragon and whatnot with Game of Thrones. You've done that. I've done that.
I know, but I don't.
It's just how we do. But we don't talk about it like it just fucking happened. If I saw him on the street,
I would start throwing rocks at him. Or
exactly. But that's the thing. You and I and a lot of people, they don't talk like it just fucking happened in their backyard.
Right. Yeah.
Some people do.
Yeah, they do.
And the reason I bring this up is because this woman who is just the picture of unhappiness.
Uh-huh.
I have no other way of explaining it. I say this to her, they either end up fairly normal, go into the ministry, or they end up twisted in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know. And that's true.
That's true.
You know that.
I know it.
I know that. We are all examples of these in various forms and fashions.
Absolutely.
Some more, some gearing towards one way versus the other. But at the end of the day, that's the result.
Yes.
And she looked at me and she said, well, I'm the grandchild of a preacher, and that cannot be true. And I couldn't help but think to myself, must have been a shitty preacher. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just went on to the next thing.
Right.
Like, next exercise, Because it's like, oh, okay. We're not going to...
So you're, what, she's not in the ministry and she's not twisted and she's not normal?
Yeah, exactly.
What is she not?
Yeah, exactly. And I just was like, oh.
But you can't engage that type of statement.
I was like, oh, okay.
That's an invitation for an argument that.
Oh, I know.
I mean, if you were like co-workers,
sure,
you could, boom. But in that situation,
in this situation,
okay.
no.
Sure.
Oh no,
it doesn't matter to you
because of certain reasons. I know what an argument getting ready to get sprung on me looks like.
Right.
So
people
I was
miserable. They're just looking for an opportunity to spread that misery to other people.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. That's why. Look, if she's not at least halfway decent by the time her contract is up, I'm just gonna tell her like, I'm booked. It's like someone else.
She probably use a good yoga class.
I don't think with her. It would have to be like a definite assisted yoga class because her knee is like nothing. She can only do calf raises, stiff-legged deadlifts, and leg presses. Nothing else. No curl, no leg curls, no leg extension, no leg curls, nothing. She is she dropped to 248 last week. She's about 5'2".
Hamstring work. That's the only way to stabilize.
Oh, I know.
Especially women.
I know.
Women's hamstrings are so in deficit.
Yeah, that's why I'm very adamant about stiff-legged deadlifts.
She may have the only thing really losing, if she's reached this point, the only thing losing weight is going to be able to do for her, even if she got down to her perfect target weight.
Oh, yeah.
Is push that knee replacement into the future.
Oh, yeah. But she is going to have it.
Oh,
I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, but you know what?
You're overweight and you've reached that point.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to do my best.
Percentage, I mean, it's not 100%, but I mean, like, you got a 10% chance of not having to have that knee replaced, even if you get down to the...
Uh-huh. Even if she gets down to fit.
Even if she gets down to the perfect,
perfect weight. Oh, no, it's bad.
That knee is boogered up, and that's just...
Oh, no, it's bad.
It's just, it's just going to have to be worked on.
Yeah, she's just... And you know what's so funny?
What?
You know what the one thing she and I can find common ground on to talk shit about?
What?
Because I try not to do that anymore. She has...
Not a
what?
Person you both know.
Oh, it is.
Oh. Okay.
It's the fasting guy. Because she and him have the same hour. My boss is training the guy that's fasting, or was fasting, but he never shut the fuck up and he's a contrarian.
Oh,
and I'm training this picture of unhappiness alongside it, and we're both looking at each other, and then looking at him, and then looking back at each other going, she's asking me like, is this every single time? And I'm like, every single
Yeah, she's lonely and she's
time.
trying to recruit you to her club.
Yeah, well, I'm not going.
No, I know. You gotta watch miserable people.
I know.
They drive people away.
I know.
They're so crazy because they're like everybody else's asshole is like,
Okay, if no one's eating your cooking, it might be your cooking.
It might be your cooking.
Yeah, because here's the thing. My last game night.
Yeah.
And I remember it very distinctly. I showed up like an hour earlier.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. I showed. Yeah,
just monumentally miserable.
Yes.
Because you caught him before the alcohol got.
Yes, I did. I showed up an hour early because I misread. I either didn't get the message or I misread the meeting time.
There's a lot of that goes on.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
People that are,
Oh, I know that now.
Culturally, there's some decisions that people have made with lifestyle and this and that.
Because of alcohol.
But it's because of alcohol and drugs. Legal prescription drugs that they're taking. That's allowing them. That's allowing them to compartmentalize the choices that they're making.
Yeah.
And if they ever went stone cold, straight, sober, no booze,
they wouldn't be making those decisions.
They wouldn't be making those decisions.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't.
No, they would not.
They wouldn't.
No, they would not. So, yeah, I showed up an hour early to the game night, and I just looked up, and I just came to the conclusion, you were all just fucking miserable.
Did you ever have a party with them where alcohol wasn't involved?
Oh, shit. That's, okay, I
mean, not a drop.
Here's the thing. I don't know how, I want to say no, and I do want to say no.
Right.
It probably is no, because if alcohol wasn't involved, it was in the vicinity where it was easily available.
My experience with that population, alcohol is always involved.
Yes.
And I'm not
nothing wrong with alcohol.
I'm just saying that, that's what it takes to grease those wheels.
Oh yeah, that's
giggity.
Indeed.
But
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know, I get it. So, it's not I don't, it's alcohol. I like my occasional mimosas, as you and the matriarch figured out. But
people say, well, I don't need.
But I don't do it all the time.
Right, and that type of lifestyle.
You need to do it all the time.
You have to do it all the time.
Oh yeah.
It has to be involved.
It has to be some way, shape, or form. But
because you're using it to overcome that initial inhibition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a natural, instinctual thing.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that's nurtured into you. It's nature.
Yeah, this has to be nature. No, I get that.
You need the alcohol to get over the nature of it.
Oh Lord. Hang on. What's the timer on the recorder again?
We're almost 2 hours.
Okay. Do we need to wrap it up, or
we can keep going if you want to?
No, I mean, like, I don't want to splice it from one microphone to the other.
Oh no.
Like, how much will that record?
You got at least another half hour.
Okay, thank you. That's what I needed to hear.
Touch on something.
No.
But I don't want to get into a whole long.
No, I mean, we'll still go on.
It was a slow start for us today.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I know. The tea helped a lot.
It did.
Thank God.
The tea cake did.
No, like I said, I just looked up and I realized all of you were miserable, and I basically. I basically just left. I haven't, if I see them in public, I'll say hey, but I no longer seek them out. They, for the most part, don't seek me out. The only person left that truly has sought me out was my former boss. You met him. Mm-hmm. And I'm slowly trying to detach myself from that too, because again, he is fucking miserable, and I think... And I'm like, I cannot help you.
People making decisions based on, hey, times are good.
Uh-huh.
Live today.
Yeah.
Drink and be merry, for tomorrow we may die.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Now, the time has run out for that.
But now the winter is here.
Yeah, the winter is here.
That's it.
Yeah, no. People nowadays say winter is coming. No, winter is here.
Winter's here.
Yeah, winter is here.
Don't be upset, people. Don't be suicidal. Don't be depressed. Oh my God. Stop what you're doing. Take an account.
Yes.
Sit down. This is what, there are some things, hey, there's some things that I really enjoy doing this, but it's extremely dysfunctional and it's causing me problems in my life. Well,
I need to stop.
If you can't
assess yourself like that, then you're in trouble.
You got to.
Indeed.
Okay.
And this is someone who is not self-assessed.
Well, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that's why people come to you and have you train them, because they don't take the time to learn.
Mm-mm.
They need someone. You're a shortcut.
I get it. Yeah.
And everybody loves shortcuts.
Yeah, but I don't give people shortcuts.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying.
It's either this or
instead of them buying a book, and because they don't have any interest in it, they just want.
Yeah, a lot of people they can't make themselves do it, so they need someone else to make them do it.
Pay somebody to do it. I mean, I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been there.
I get it.
I mean, it's like
I needed that too.
Everybody needs that.
Even trainers need trainers sometimes.
Yeah.
So
well, that's where we are.
No, I get it.
And make different choices. Don't go, oh, I wished I'd have done this 5 years ago. I wish I'd have done this 10 years ago.
No, it's when you need it.
Start right now.
Yeah, start right now.
Okay. The next house your boss needs to, the next dwelling that your boss needs to.
Which is a basement.
Well.
Because I now know this.
Don't try to lease it.
No, he's just straight renting it. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was actually kind of strange. This past yesterday actually was the Ren Fair from the recording date.
Right.
And it was so strange because I went mostly to go see my dance company dance because, well, yes.
Sure.
I always try to do it. And it was so strange because I was very, again, it's raining. I got the umbrella, I got the hoodie up, I got my headscarf, I'm wearing my favorite pants, and I think I have fundamentally changed so much since the last time he and I were in the same place, since the warehouse,
right.
Which, I was kind of plump. I was definitely over 200 pounds at that warehouse.
Right.
Definitely. Angry, just,
Right. You were just working it out.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah, we all get there.
Yeah.
He fucking walks past me. He doesn't even look at me. I've got the umbrella and I've got the sunglasses on, sure.
Right.
It's hard to get a look at me unless but he's right in front of me. Just completely in front of me. And he's texting me later like, are you drifting out? I saw him get on his phone and go like, texting me and other people like, hey, where you at? I'm here. And I'm looking at him. He's further down because he didn't see me. He just walked down because he's taking pictures because he's a photographer. And I'm like, you just...
Didn't even recognize him.
No.
Yeah.
And I really was not inclined to introduce myself either.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's not that I'm trying to avoid him. I can't. It may sound selfish. It may sound cruel. It's like, he's going through a rough patch. What you gonna not help a friend? It's like, you were on his ear talking about your last breakup. And I was like, yeah. Because that's what I needed at that time.
Right.
And here's the thing. He's still on board the whole poly thing. Despite all the trouble it has wrought him from the current circumstances, how he got kicked out of his house and he's having to move into a fucking basement with no kitchen in it.
Yeah.
So he has to eat all of his meals out. It's like, okay. You still want to do? Okay. Because he hasn't learned anything.
Oh, I've run across people who I've had relationship with and see them out public and
you're just
and I'm like,
no.
I'm just not in the mood for it today.
No, this ain't it, bro. Yeah, exactly.
If I'm in the mood to talk to somebody, I'll talk to them. If
I'm in the
mood to talk to somebody, I'm not going to talk to them. And I have to find peace with that.
Oh yeah,
I used to let it bother me.
Yes, I'm trying not to let it bother me because I'm just like, dude.
Does it make me selfish? Does it make me a narcissist? If I want to talk to somebody, I'll talk to them. I'm not going to let all that stuff go through my head.
Yeah, but here's also the other thing. If this person that you don't feel like talking to is you know they're going to cause issues, and you know you know if
you know the conversation that's going to come.
Yeah, you know the conversation is going to come, and you know they haven't learned anything. They're going to try to have not changed.
They're going to complain about everything. Yeah. And they haven't done one thing on their end
to either fix it or try to fix it, or have any acknowledgement of, I fucked up, I got to work on me, etc. It's like pruning a dead branch off a tree.
Like, people say, well, sometimes they just need somebody to talk to. I have been that person they can talk to.
Yeah. And they still keep doing it.
Bring me down.
Yes.
And I'm just not.
And that's basically where I'm at.
Do I like them any less? No.
No. I don't hate this guy.
I don't hate him. No.
I don't hate him, but I have been that person for them in the past where they talked about their problems, and they still did not heed my advice and made the situation.
That's what drives me. They ask you questions.
Yeah.
And they argue with the answers.
Yeah.
And then they don't
implement anything.
They don't implement anything.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, well, because if I know that's going to come, then I'm just not going to. If I want to spoil my afternoon, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. So yeah, that's basically where I stand with all that. So it's just makes my damn head hurt sometimes.
Well, circumstances, the issue is, it's just like your boss had to learn. The issues that are changing right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to force people
to put their...
But
that's also the other thing, though, too, with my boss, is... Like I said, she told me and her son she had no nest egg. Nothing. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I did two things that Wednesday when she was this close to just sobbing on the floor, which she didn't because she still had to work.
Right.
She couldn't call any of it off. She couldn't say, hey, something happened, I can't be available for the rest of today. I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you. She couldn't do that.
Right.
And being kicked out of your house, in my opinion, warrants that response. It warrants a little brief mourning period.
I agree with that.
In my opinion, okay?
I agree with that.
Maybe not
a flat tire.
No, it's not a flat tire. No, it is not a flat tire. You're about to not have a house.
That's right.
You're about to not have a home. You can take 2 to 3 days to figure your shit out.
That's a big deal. Some people never recover from something
like
that. Exactly. Never recover.
And I did two things that Wednesday. The first thing I did, and I'm being honest, because this is important.
Right.
Actually, because it's important. The second thing I did, I had thought to myself later that day was, yeah, my nest egg is looking real good right now, which, in my opinion, is not impressive. It's less than 10 grand.
Right.
It's not, to me, it wasn't much. Something less than 10 grand, but I was proud of it.
Something.
And then I hear that from my older, supposedly wiser, boss, who got nothing. And I go, and later on in the day, I'm like, oh, I'm in better shape than I thought. Yeah. Once again, I am constantly reminded how good of a situation I am in, and I really, really appreciate it. Because I've said to myself, every now and again, I just need a reminder of how good I got it.
Ditto.
Yeah. Ditto. We're not in a mansion. We're not on our island. But you know what? In a way, we are.
We are.
Because house is paid for. It's not, some people would not call it much of a house. You know what? Roof doesn't leak. AC works. Heating works. And sometimes I feel like I'm about to die in that room because the sun always sets right on that square point of the house, and I got 5 different animals trying to eat me in my sleep. But you know what? It does comfort me to know that at the end of the day, I can still cuddle on my 3 cats. Actually, my 2 cats, because sometimes they don't want the 3rd one in that room.
That's true.
And the first thing I did, like, this is immediately after what she told us. This is the important one. Mm-hmm. The second one you can chalk up to ego. This is the first thing I did. The first thing I did was I took her hand. You know, like she's like locked up. Like rubbing her thighs. Like squared up. Legs crossed. Very, in distress.
Distraught.
Yeah, very distraught signs, because I have a fucking book that I need to read again with a highlighter.
Okay.
What everybody is saying. An ex-FBI agent's guide to speed reading people. This is one of my favorite books as someone who is on the spectrum.
Sounds good.
Because a lot of social cues are not imparted by words, which piss me off. I don't mind social cues. I just need to know about them, you see.
Sure.
This helps. This book has helped me. So I know what distress looks like.
Right.
So what I did, she's just tears, are fucking up her makeup because she wears it at the gym, but whatever. I grab her hand, and I say to her, God does not close one door without opening another. You will get through this. And that's what I said to her.
Cool.
I was sincere, as much as humanly possible, as much I could muster out of myself. It's not that I didn't have any emotion for her, I just didn't want to get swept up in it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I understand.
So, as comforting but objective as possible, I said this to her as some way of comfort, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I let her go, because that's what I had to do.
Right.
And then her son, my former trainer, then he steps in with the whole like, oh hey, I'm going out of town. My wife is going out of town with the kid. You can stay at my place for the next 2-3 months and build something up to put a down payment on something. And she and him started talking to each other about that, and I said my business because it was a business meeting and left.
Cool.
And that's all I could do.
Speak it into existence.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Because I know if something like that happened to me, that's what I need to hear. It's like my dance teacher. Same thing. The studio she got bought out from everybody. Everyone at that building complex. It was getting renovated. They're having to move. My studio's having to move.
Right.
She looked at it as an opportunity for something better.
I was really. I don't want to say impressed like I expected less, but I was impressed to hear that from her.
Yes. So.
Not that I thought. You just don't hear people embrace it like that.
Exactly. No, she took like a couple days to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course, which I would do that too.
Sure.
I'm about to lose the place where I have my business or my house. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
That's worth a cry. That's fair.
That's fair.
No, that's fine. It's not spilled milk.
Every now and then.
Yeah. Oh, no, it is good. I know that now. No, it's not spilled milk. That's your house.
It's not a weakness. It's just.
And I was trying to impart that spirit to my boss. Whether or not she's accepted it, I don't know. But beyond that, it's not my problem. Or I don't want to say it's not my problem, but beyond that, that's what I had to do.
That's your application to it, and that's fine.
Indeed.
There you go.
No, I don't think less of her. It's just. This is probably why I'm looking forward to, like, being 47 or 69. Is because I'm old.
Don't rush it.
No. I'm not trying to rush it. I just know that at a certain point, instead of me being the young person, I guess having a better understanding than my older peers, it's going to be reversed, and I'm going to feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is why my retirement is to be Gandalf. That is literally my retirement plan.
that kick-ass hat.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the fucking kick-ass hat. I'm gonna get the pipe with the halfling weed. I'm gonna have like a house in the middle of the woods where all the children and grandchildren can go run and play at. Have a little small, like a little garden, nothing huge, not a field, just some, just enough. Just enough.
Okay.
Like, hey, I have some extra potatoes this year. Awesome. And I'm telling people to knock their dumb shit off. Because I'm Gandalf. And occasionally I will go and, I guess, raid the tombs of dragons or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
You're 90! Yeah, well, I've done yoga since I was 16 years old. I'm gonna live forever.
Forever.
Yeah. I am Gandalf. I am Grandma Gandalf.
Grandma Gandalf.
That is my retirement.
That works.
Yeah, that's me. Alrighty. You
Cool.
got anything?
No.
Yeah.
It went well.
Yeah, it
I
did.
didn't know we were gonna. I was kind of worried at the beginning. I was like, "Oh, we took a week off," but it was just like I was a little difficult getting my gears turned.
Tea.
Tea.
That's what the tea is for.
Cool.
Oh yeah. And I'm getting more.
Okay.
Forever.
Awesome. Works for me.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the website where I'm going to get more. Cool. All right, so I'm good. I got to eat. All right, so you good?
I'm good.
All right, cool. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.